How does one start a video where they're announcing they're coming out of retirement from speed cubing? Any thoughts? How's it going, everyone? My name is Jill, and here I want to talk to you about Rubik's Cubes. I started cubing or learning how to solve the cube when I was in 3rd grade, and from there it just kind of blossomed into this really crazy passion of mine. I started speed solving when I was in middle school, got really into cubing videos, started making cubing videos, and then around high school I fell off the face of the earth when it came to cubing and didn't really think much of it. Lost a lot of my skill at that time too, and so kind of thought it was an era that was over for me and didn't really think of ever getting back into it other than just the occasional solve to de-stress and unwind for the evening. But I came across some videos on my YouTube page, my TikTok, everything like that, and it was, speed solving videos, and kind of got me back into it and interested. And I don't know what came over me, but I just decided to pick it up again because, why not? And then I thought, if I'm going to pick up cubing, I should probably make it productive again. And so I thought, what could I do to make this, hobby? I can try and find some progress or work towards something. And one of my goals has always been to be a sub 15 second 3x3 speed cuber. Another goal, which might come with luck, a sub 10 second 3x3 solve. So I figured, let's try it, and let's also document that progress. And like I said, it's been a very long time since I've been in the cubing community, and so there's a lot that I'm just trying to kind of pick back up, because when I was in my prime, I was rocking the Diane Zanchi, and then I also had this one laying around. I bought this, I guess, 8 years ago. It's the GAN 356 Air, and it's pretty good. I like it. I just had no idea what I was buying because I just bought probably one of the most popular cubes at the time. I figured I just could use a newer speed cube that's more with the times, with all the magnets and the crazy tension settings and stuff. So I picked up this cube. This is the MoU RS53M 2020. I don't know. It was one of the most popular cubes, one of the cheapest cubes too. So I got that and started playing with it this week, and I really like it. And that's kind of where I'm at. I figured I would just get something new and talk through my process of what I'm trying to do in order to get to sub 15 seconds. So the rules with the sub 15 seconds is that I need to have an average of 100. That's sub 15 in order for me to even consider being sub 15 average speed cuber. When it comes to documenting this progress, this journey, what I'd like to do is take a week to come up with some practice techniques that would hopefully get me to a better position to be that kind of speed cuber. I have a lot of flaws in my speed cubing process right now. To name a few, it would be finger tricks, not very good at them anymore. And cube rotations kind of goes along with that. Another thing would be F2L recognition and getting that first pair ready to go and look ahead, being very efficient consistently. And then the last thing would be last layer permutation recognitions, but then also getting my PLLs to be, within a second or two. So that's what's holding me back. And that's a lot of things to fix, and it's gonna be pretty long journey, I suppose, but we're gonna see how it goes, and I'll probably make videos until I'm bored. So this may never get finished, just warning you. But one thing that I've been working on this week, and hopefully will continue to do it for me for the next week or two, is when it comes to my cross inspection and first 2 layers inspection, what I'd like to do is, 1, do the cross in 8 moves or less, but then also recognize where my first pair is going to be so I can solve it right away. And I'm using a lot more inspection time to really visualize where I think the pieces will end up after I solve the cross. So that's been what I've been working on for past couple days. The other thing I've been doing are left-hand finger tricks. I've never been very good at left-handed finger tricks. Not that my right's any better, just practicing doing algorithms on my left hand, you know, doing reverse PLLs, that kind of stuff. And then the other thing would be trying to incorporate those finger tricks in a solve. One thing that I'm not very good at is I can do great finger tricks while I'm practicing and not really solving, but then once I'm cubing or like speed solving, I think my hand placement is just not ideal for doing those finger tricks. So that's the journey that we're going to embark on for the foreseeable future. Figured I'd take you along for the ride until, again, this ends up either being complete or not. At the end of every week, I'll let you know how my averages of 100 are going and where I'm at. This week, I'm sitting, as of yesterday, I did an average of 100, and I was sitting at like 17.5 seconds. So got a long way to go, but I think we're hopefully moving in the right direction. I would say, you know, if within the next month I can get sub 17, that'd be pretty cool. Feel free to leave any comments or suggestions on practicing techniques. I'll let you know what I'm working on for the week and, you know, keep you posted on my thoughts on that. But for the time being, here is just an average of 12, average of 5 solves on the 3x3. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so I just sped up the scramble and inspection really fast because I took a long time to look at everything. But what I was trying to do was really focus on finding all my cross pieces and then where's my first pair going to end up after I finish the cross. And so one thing you might notice is that when I'm building my cross and then transitioning to the first pair, it's pretty slow and there are a lot of pauses. So that's something to work on. I think one idea I had for practice technique was, okay, don't do any time solves, but scramble the cube, find the cross, and then the first pair, and then pretend to almost do a blind solve of your cross, and then guess where your first pair is going to end up. So that's something I think I'm going to work on. I'm not sure I would record that and show that, but just want to give you some ideas of what I was thinking about in order to make that transition from cross to first 2 layers a little bit faster, because I think if I can consistently get my cross and first pair quickly, that will just make everything a little bit easier and a little less worrisome, I guess, about, you know, how much time I have in order to solve the last layer. Because I think until I get my finger tricks done really well, I think there's a ton of time to cut between cross and first 2 layers. So that's that. I had some back-to-back good solves where I was sub 15, and that was pretty nice. I think it obviously helps if I'm warmed up. You know, the first couple solves I was doing in the day were much higher averages, like 18 to 20 seconds. So I think that is another challenge to try and face is, you know, ramping myself up so that when I do these solves, I am warmed up, but also that it's not quote-unquote artificial types of solves. But yeah, so this is the last solve here. I didn't do an average of 12 in this video because that's kind of long, but let me just check the stats real quick for the solves I did. So the average of 100 I did was 17.02 seconds. The best average of 100 I had in a session that has 200 solves is 16.91 seconds. My best average of 12 was 14.99 seconds, and my best average of 5 was 14.03 in that session. So definitely it's possible. I just have to get consistent. So that's the name of the game, and we're going to try our best. Thanks for watching.